and welcome to the annual Q&A with the Deans. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. I am Leigh Ann Jacobson, Director of Parent Relations and Giving. I'm also the very proud parent of 2 LFA students, my daughter Allison, who is a graduate of LFA, and my son Drew, who is a senior this year. It is my pleasure to be one of the moderators for tonight's event. We have families literally from around the globe and from coast to coast. We have parents tuning in from 6 different countries and 4 different states this evening. Before we begin, I have a few housekeeping items to share with you. Tonight's Zoom is in webinar format, and that means our panelists will be speaking to you directly, and they will be answering the pre-submitted questions in their remarks. If you do have additional questions tonight, that's all right. You could write them down in the Q&A function in the bottom toolbar of your Zoom screen. This webinar is being recorded, and it will be providing a link to this evening's webinar in the Sunday e-news, which comes to you weekly every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central. It is now my pleasure to introduce Head of School, Chris Tennyson. Chris, would you like to get us started?
Thanks, Leigh Ann. Good evening, everybody. Thank you again for joining us and for being here. As Leigh Ann mentioned, my name is Chris Tennyson. I'm the proud head of school at Lake Forest Academy. I have been able to work at the academy now for over 20 years, probably closer to inching my way to 25 now, serving in a variety of ways, as a teacher, as a dorm head, as a coach, more recently as a dean of students and within the head of school office. But I am so excited for this next chapter, for the academy, as well as for our families. And it is truly an honor to be able to serve the school that I have come to love over the last 2 decades. And I will say it's been a phenomenal start to the school year. Our students are settling in, our faculty and staff are settling in. In fact, Rico Kishitani and I, who is our all-school president, each at our opening our opening celebration meeting before the all-school handshake, each of us spoke about how wonderful it was to have even a greater sense of normalcy this year. And although we still have things that are going to kind of pop up here and there, neither of us had shared our speeches with each other. And so to hear his remarks prior to mine, it was a really nice kind of coming together of that. And we have really hit the ground running. I will say that, the all-school handshake probably could not have had better weather. And it was phenomenal to see all of our community line the formal gardens and go around and either shake hands or fist bump. And there was a lot more handshakes this year, which was really great. Our fall play has held auditions. Our athletic contests are well underway. We have a club fair this Friday, a college fair next week with Healthy Choices Day to follow. And so, we've wasted no time kind of getting down into kind of providing our students with what I think is a really, truly excellent experience. And there was a question that was submitted pre this webinar that kind of talked about how do we find out about all of these things? And Leigh Ann mentioned this a little bit ago. One of the big ways to do that is to read the parent e-news and to subscribe to that. And that comes out every Sunday night. And for parents, it is a great way to stay abreast of what's going on campus. But really and ultimately, and I think any of my colleagues on this call can attest to that, the amount of announcements already at our morning meetings and in advisory have been it's been bountiful, I guess is the only way to say it. And our clubs and our affinity groups and our students wanting to share sports results, homecoming week, all of these things, they have been sharing those things publicly. And so your children, regardless of whether they're a new 9th grader or a 4-year senior, they are being inundated with information regarding when clubs and affinity groups are beginning to meet. And there's an open invitation to any and all of these things. And so I wanted to kind of go back to some of the things that I talked about, not only at my new family receptions, or not mine, but the school's new family receptions, my remarks at them, but also some of the remarks that I kind of talked about at some other opening gatherings. The first is at new family receptions. Please encourage your children to open their eyes and open their ears and take in all of the things going on campus so that they can participate and fully engage themselves in the life of the school. It is really important. The second thing is one of the things I talked about is being part of Team LFA. And this is something that I spoke to our students, our faculty and staff about, talking about all the benefits of being on a team and how we can pick each other up and how we work together for collective goals. And that's something that we're going to continue to do. And then the other is that at the new family receptions, or not the new family, at the opening faculty or no opening parent meeting on the Sunday of registration, a whole lot of speeches. One of the things I talked about was how LFA will be there to answer the call. And that's going to be something that's really important. And one of the reasons why LFA has hit the ground running and gotten off to such an amazing start is because of all of the other people you see on this webinar panel. They have been truly amazing and done an absolutely tremendous job kind of being able to make sure that your students, your children are being cared for and supported and being nurtured in a way that's going to allow them to grow into global citizens. And know this, they will answer the call. So please use this event to ask questions in that Q&A box. Please, if you don't feel comfortable asking that question now, that's okay. You can reach out to any of these Dean's Council members and they will get back to you. And please know that you can always email or call me, and I'm happy to either direct you to the person and or help you out in any way that I can. And so thank you again for being here. It means so much to all of us to be able to introduce ourselves. It is a phenomenal team. And regardless of whether or not you have 1 year left in your LFA journey or more, know that these individuals are going to be critical in guiding your children and supporting them and loving them. So without further ado, I would like to introduce a member of the head of school office, Miss Nancy Nassr, who's LFA's assistant head of school and academic dean.
Thank you, Chris. That was a really wonderful introduction to all the exciting things happening at LFA. As Chris mentioned, my name is Nancy Nassr. I am the assistant head of school and academic dean. I joined LFA last July, and I have 2 students here, a sophomore and a junior, who absolutely adore being at LFA. This year, I'm also teaching 10th grade American Lit. I supervise study hall in STU on Tuesday nights. And I co-advise BSU and hope to be coaching in the spring. So as you can tell, all of us are pretty ingrained in the lives of our students, and that's something that is important to us. And I think something that makes LFA incredibly special. And so this evening, I'm here along with my colleagues to answer your questions. And without further ado, I would love to introduce the Dean's Council, beginning with our esteemed colleague, Dr. Rob Buckla, Vice President of Advancement.
Thanks so much, Nancy, and greetings, everyone, from Lake Forest Academy. As Nancy mentioned, my name is Rob Buckla, and I'm Vice President for Advancement. That, of course, means that my team executes all parent relations, alumni engagement, and fundraising programs. So I'm going to use my time today for a couple of shameless plugs, if you will. So first of all, Family Weekend. If you have not heard about Family Weekend, you certainly will be soon. Please be sure to check your parent e-news for more information about it. You'll be receiving e-blasts about it. But mark your calendars now. It's October 14 through 16. Once again, October 14 to 16. Some of the highlights, one of my favorites, and certainly the favorites of our parents, is attending mini classes. So this is an opportunity to get into our classrooms with our faculty members that are phenomenal. 15 minutes, pass to the next one. Great stuff, great content. You will really enjoy it. One of the highlights also is our grandparents brunch. So you can invite your parents to join your child's grandparents to be with us. It's a brunch. It's pretty straightforward. It's a nice opportunity to eat and hear a little bit about the school or some other content. And of course, you get to have your grandchild, the grandchildren photographed with their grandparents, and we'll send those out to you. There's also concerts, athletics, wellness programs, all kinds of other goodies. So if you'd like to register today, it's free. You can go to lfanet.org/Family Weekend. Again, that's registered today at lfanet.org/family weekend. The second shameless plug is for the Academy Fund. So many of you know the Academy Fund is critical to our operating budget. It helps every single one of our students because it is money that goes straight into the operating budget. Our goal this year is 1.77 million, and we are hoping to raise 650,000 from our parents. You'll be hearing more about this in the days ahead, but bottom line is this: full tuition at LFA only covers about 75% of the actual cost of educating each student. So when you give to the Academy Fund, you are helping to provide for the school in so many different ways, everything from helping to underwrite financial aid to kind of the more mundane things. You know, our gas and electric bills continue to rise, and we need your help to ensure that we pay those bills on time. I do want to mention that we need the leadership families to step up. And most importantly, we need every single family at LFA to consider some gift of some size, regardless of the size, from $10 to $10,000 to $1,000. We'd love to have 100% participation of our families. I want to say a quick shout out and thank you to Jen and Neil Reenan and Lena and Khalid Awada, who are co-chairing our efforts. We can't do these things without great volunteers. So you'll be hearing more about the Academy Fund in October via email and mail. Now I'd like to turn it over to my colleague, Dean of Admission, Carolyn Gorowski.
Hello, welcome everyone. We're so thrilled to have many of you guys on the call tonight from all over the world. My name is Carolyn Gorowski. I've met probably most people on the call, but I'm the Dean of Admission. This is my 12th year at LFA, and I live on campus with my family in Atlas Hall. I also serve as a college counselor to a small group of students, advisor. I'm one of the Jewish Student Union advisors as well. And this year I serve as an on-call administrator. And so I get the opportunity to go around and check in on all of the dorms. And so that's been a fun new role for me this year. I know I spoke at the opening of school meeting, but I just wanted to touch on some of the demographic breakdowns for the student body this year for anyone who wasn't able to join us. This year we opened the school with 440 students, which is the highest number of students that we've had at the start of the school year, which was very exciting, including 142 new students. The breakdown was 95 ninth graders and 47 transfer students. This year we're exactly 50% boarding and 50% day. And our students come from 14 different states and 38 different countries and territories. So continue to be one of the most geographically diverse schools in the US and around the world. Our day students are joining us from 39 local cities as well. So across the Chicagoland area, we're wide representation. In addition to kind of the breakdown, I wanted to do a quick plug for the club fair on Friday. Our office oversees the CAXI Keys, which is the student ambassador group. It's one of the largest clubs on campus. And I encourage you to talk to your sons and daughters. And it's a great way to get involved at LFA, to host shadows, to give tours, to prospective families, to alums. It's a really great way to just kind of get engaged in the student body. So that's a nice opportunity for students, and they can sign up for that on Friday. But thanks again. Let me know if you have any questions that come up. I know we work with families in the admissions process, but we know that families are very comfortable with the individuals in our office. We're happy to continue to be a liaison. And then as re-enrollment comes up in January, we will reach out to you again. And next up, I'd like to introduce Greg Greenwell, which is one of our newest deans. He's the Director of Marketing and Communication.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Carolyn. Yes, I am. I think I'm about a month and a half in now. I started in mid-July here at Lake Forest Academy. And, just the energy on campus has been so refreshing for me to see, all the students, all your kids around campus. I mean, yesterday after classes ended, I was in the theater watching the fall play practice, then ran over and saw girls volleyball playing, out to girls field hockey, and then over to boys soccer. And then as I went back through crown, I saw the swim team practicing. So just the energy on campus is so refreshing right now. So prior to LFA, I've mainly worked on a college campus, most recently at DePaul University in Chicago. I do live off campus in Mundelein. I have a 15-year-old and an 11-year-old. I've been around academics all my life. My parents are retired teachers. My wife is a current teacher. And so, I just having this opportunity to work at LFA has been a great opportunity for me. And so what does marketing communications do? If you haven't seen it yet, the Sunday night email that's been mentioned here already, it's full of information to keep up with your students. And if you ever have any feedback, you can email me directly, greg.greenwell@lfanet.org. If you got any ideas, some other events you might want to hear about, just let me know. In addition to the newsletters, we maintain the website, social media accounts. We work with some external photographers, and ultimately it boils down to telling the story of LFA. And in my short time here, I've learned there's a lot of great stories, and I'm looking forward to telling those stories not only internally but also externally with some of our media partners. With that, I'll pass over to Tom Johnson, our Dean of Faculty.
Thank you, Greg, and good night. Good evening, everyone. This is my 6th year at LFA. I live here on campus with my family, my wife and my 10-year-old daughter, and so I can empathize with all of you wanting to get a glimpse into the life of your child, because I do the exact same thing. I teach World History 1. I have an awesome group of freshmen in World History 1 this year. I am a really proud coach of the boys swim team in the wintertime. I know we have some swim parents on the call tonight. And like Carolyn, I do on-call administrator, and actually I'm on call right now, so it's possible I'll have to disappear for a second if any calls come in. And I also serve as an advisor. I have 7 junior advisees who are an amazing group, and we really like being together. In terms of my role here at LFA, I handle a number of things, primarily faculty hiring, orientation, professional development, the evaluation of our faculty. I had the chance to help with some scheduling this year, as Shannon Braddock, who's our registrar, was welcoming a granddaughter into her world, which was exciting. And I helped with some of the board committees with education and the endowment. I manage our campus housing. We have about 55 people that live on campus here, adults within our community, and that's a big part of our culture here. And then in terms of major stuff, I help to lead our reaccreditation process with Isaacs, which if you've been around for a couple of years, you may be familiar with that. If you're new, every 7 years, we go through a reaccreditation process, and we just completed that this past year. So that was big for the school, and it's something I'm sure you'll hear Chris talk about that will really guide us toward our next strategic planning cycle as a school, which helps us to set the course for the future. And we're currently working on a peer benchmarking process, which is important as well in terms of identifying our peer schools in the local area, but nationally as well. So thanks for joining us tonight. I'm happy to introduce Anna Kliner, our Director of Health Services.
Hi, everybody. I'm Anna Kliner. Welcome to the call. I'm in my 3rd year here as LFA's Director of Health Services. I'm a family nurse practitioner and primary care clinician by training, and have had a lot of experience in school health, as well as some recent hands-on refreshers in infectious diseases and mental health, and even a nice sprinkling of public health and public policy thrown in. I live off campus in Highland Park, a nearby suburb, with my husband and 3 kids. Full disclosure, my youngest child, Otis, is 12 weeks tomorrow. So tonight's my last night of maternity leave. And I'm really, really excited to get back to LFA and work with our incredible kids and the incredible team to keep our community healthy and learning. It's going to be a great continuation of what sounds like a great start to the year. The health services team, for those that don't know, consists of myself as the Director of Clinical Activities and the provider of primary care services. We have 4 nurses, one of whom is a first-year student parent, and one of whom is an alumni parent. And they, for those who want to reach a nurse, I just want to let you guys know, quick plug, since our hours are staggered and you kind of don't know who you're getting, who's on, you can always email nurse@lfanet.org and you will get a response pretty quickly. Or on weekdays, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., you can call our phone, and we'll put that in the newsletter, but it's 847-507-4728 and get one of our nurses. The other 2 members of our team are unrivaled school therapists. Jennifer Madeley is our licensed clinical social worker, who's also an alumni parent, parent and Darrin's wife. And Raleigh Dolly is our licensed professional counselor and also an alumna. They see students for cycle meetings, for therapy. They respond to mental health crises. They help support faculty and staff and refer to and coordinate with outside therapists. And they teach in the health, wellness, and community academic department. Quickly, since you guys are a captive audience, I want to make sure that everybody kind of is up to snuff on the call with our COVID updates. Our current policy for COVID, and it may change, as these things tend to do, is always available on the website, but it's as follows. Positive cases must stay home or in isolation on campus until day 5, and then they may return with a single negative antigen test taken on or after day 5 and remain masked until day 10. On day 10, no matter what the test, people may return and remove their masks if they're comfortable. Any symptomatic community members should stay home and test. They may return to school if no fever with 2 negative antigen tests 24 hours apart. So practically this means that sick people will be home for 1 to 2 days. We still encourage masking, and as always, the best protection against COVID is being up to date with vaccination. With the new approval of the bivalent booster, we'll work to promote uptake of that and maybe even bring it to campus. More to come on that as the guidance is still so new. To date, we've had 21 cases of COVID since the start of preseason, fairly even distribution, and we're continuing to take really good care of those kids and as their parents. And thank you all for your proactive communication with us about positive tests and symptoms. In terms of other kinds of primary prevention and support programs, in addition to our day-to-day work, we're pleased we'll once again be able, with the support of our partner Passport Health, to provide influenza vaccinations on campus. This will be offered to all community members on October 20th and 21st, with a makeup day on October 28th. In addition, if any of your students, especially those who may not be local and can't get easily to their provider, are missing recommended or required vaccinations, we're offering those on campus on October 7th. More details about those dates and how to sign up will come out in that parent e-news you keep hearing so much about. And if your child's missing vaccinations, we'll reach out to them directly to inform them which ones and how to sign up. And it also include, obviously, parental consent. Again, we do hope to bring those COVID boosters, and we should have those details really soon. That said, if you're a local family and already have plans for your child to get the bivalent Omicron-specific booster, don't wait, just go get it. Another finally thing I want to highlight for our team this year is something for the adults in the community. On September 14th, all the adults in our community, everybody who works with the kids will have the opportunity to become youth mental health first aid certified. So that's our Healthy Choices Day, and while the students are involved in their programming, in partnership with the Jocelyn Center, which is a local therapy organization, we'll be providing youth mental health first aid training and certification, which is designed to teach adults how to help adolescents who experience mental health, addiction, or challenge or in crisis. It's primarily designed for adults who interact regularly with young people. It introduces common mental health challenges, reviews typical adolescent and teaches a 5-step action plan for how to help young people in crisis and non-crisis situations. Just to be clear, it's similar to CPR. So it's not treating anything, but it's just knowing that first step to intervene. And we think it's a powerful tool for our community, and the support for this program from Chris and the rest of the school leadership reflects the Academy's commitment to mental wellness and a powerful and concerted response to issues our kids are experiencing. And then this year, our team will also be moving our fantastic programming into an incredible new space, which I think a lot of you helped participate in making happen for us, our new Health and Wellness Center, and our department's thrilled and hopeful about how we can continue to provide support for students and programming for the whole community when that comes to fruition. So I think that's enough for me for now. And if you ever need me or anyone in my department, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And without further ado, let me introduce Darrin Madeley, who is the athletic director. So here's Darrin.
Thanks, Anna. Yes, my name's Darrin Madeley. I'm the athletic director. I am starting my 18th year at LFA. My wife, as Anna mentioned, has also been here for 18 years with me. We have 2 children. Our daughter, Jenna, graduated a long time ago. She's 29 now, and our son is 26 and graduated 10 years ago. Basically, the role that I play here is anything athletically for the students, anything facility wise. Also, we handle all the rentals of the turf fields and the rink and the pool and the gym and the baseball diamond and tennis courts. And then I'm also in charge of all summer camps as well. My team is made up of Pam Dye, Tanika Galata, David Addis, and Jenny Gorey. So the best thing about what we get to do every day and what I get to see right now is I'm watching about 50 students constantly staring in the window and trying to distract me from what I'm supposed to be doing. So I will now pass on to Miss Mayikana.
Thank you, Darrin. Good evening and good morning, everyone. My name is Lusanda Mayikana, and I am the Dean of Pluralism and Multicultural Affairs, and I also teach in the Health, Wellness, and Community Department. I am starting my 20th year, and I'm also a parent of an LFA alum class of 2014. And in the Office of Pluralism and Multicultural Affairs, I work with various offices and my colleagues right here, from athletics to the Dean of Students to the admissions, everyone on this call in some capacity. And our goal is to make sure that LFA is an inclusive community where our students experience community and belonging in every respect. And so we are always looking for ways to make sure that that happens. And I work very closely with the multicultural prefects. And again, they are looking at making sure that everyone has someone who can hear and understand their experience at LFA. And right now, they are planning a community dialogue, which they have asked to have back. Our senior class is the only class that has had these community dialogues. Because of the pandemic, we could not have these dialogue. And it's an opportunity for students to get together and have conversations where they will listen to one another and share their views on different topics. And this coming Sunday, I will be training the student facilitators, because it is conversation that is facilitated by students. And because it is their experience, they are the ones who will suggest topics, and we plan around those topics and how they will be able to engage the community. And I am asking you to please encourage your children, just echoing what Chris said earlier on, just encourage your children to be curious and reach out and connect with students who are different from them, and to take the time to listen and learn about the different ways of seeing the world. And with that, I will pass on the mic to Andrew Poska, our Dean of College Counseling. Thank you.
So hello, everyone. My name is Andrew Poska. I am the Dean of College Counseling, as Lusanda just said. This is my 19th year at Lake Forest Academy, and I believe it's my 8th year serving as the Dean of College Counseling. And I'm fortunate, really fortunate, to work alongside 3 other full-time college counselors, as well as an amazing office manager who keeps us on point and helps manage some of our programming and our college counseling program, as well as our testing program here, our SAT, ACT testing at Lake Forest Academy. I do live on campus with my wife, Olivia, who also teaches English and art history, and a 12-year-old daughter. My wife is the dorm head in Ferry Hall. That's where I live. I coach hockey. I've coached a number of other sports, and I do dorm duty in Ferry Hall. I'm also a proud advisor to the class of 2023, which has been an amazing experience. Never in my life did I think I would help to plan a prom. And so that was fun, and the largest prom yet. I had little to do with that. I have a great co-advisor. And I thought just to give you a sense of kind of what we do in our role at LFA, I'd kind of take you through today, a day in the life of the college counselor. It started off this morning, and we had a faculty meeting, and I was fortunate enough to get some time to talk to the teachers, to talk to our teachers about teacher recommendations. And then we also brought in a representative from the University of Southern California who gave our faculty some do's and don'ts and was a great resource. And after that meeting, which I think was good professional development, we went and we had I had a couple student meetings. We meet with our students once a cycle. So the seniors get our attention now, and we meet with them once a cycle. And that goes on throughout the fall. So till we get them to the point where they're getting ready to press submit. Next up, advisory. All of our college counselors are advisors. I actually am an advisor, co-advisor with Ben Weatherby, who's another college counselor, and we share an advisory because we do a lot of traveling in the winter and spring to go visit colleges and get a better sense of what program they're offering, so we can be better resources to our students. Then we had a couple college reps visit. The college reps were from Purdue University and Bard. We'll have 82, we'll have over 100 college representatives visit LFA this fall during the academic day. Seniors can miss classes to speak with college representatives because we feel it's important for them maybe to become more than just a pile of paper and to learn more about schools. And our teachers are usually very accommodating. And then after that, a couple more meetings with students, and then a little discussion on the ACT that we're hosting on campus this weekend, which I'm kind of terrified about because Shannon, our office manager, is out, so I am not the site manager. And so if there's a tech problem, I apologize in advance for my ineptness. And then also looking forward to to hosting college night next Tuesday from 6:30 to 8, and we'll have 82 college representatives visiting LFA. We'll have probably over 1,000 people on campus. It's one of the largest events that we host all year long, and it's a great show of community, and our students, I think, feel pretty good about the interaction that they have with college representatives. And then lastly, I just wanted to say that, one of the reasons why we feel really lucky to do the work that we do is because we get to watch the students grow up. And so one of the biggest things that we'll do as college counselors is write a comprehensive recommendation at the to accompany their applications, and feel really fortunate that when we write those recommendations, it comes from a place of knowing. It's not superficial. It comes from a place of watching kids go through the small moments and the big moments that characterize their journey through high school, and so that's made it really fun and feel good that our office works collaboratively, helping students get through, and we're looking forward to what the year holds in store. So thanks for coming on tonight and listening, and I'd love to answer any questions that anyone has if they're college counseling related. And next up, I'll actually turn to Mike Reidy, who is our CFO.
Thank you, Andrew. Yep, I'm Mike Reidy. I'm the CFO. I have been here. This is my 9th year here, and I do not live on campus. I'm off campus up in Lake Bluff, which is a short ride away, with my wife and 3 kids. The youngest of which is a freshman this year. So some of you may have children who know him, or maybe even are his friends, become his friends. Lennon, if you hear the name Lennon, that's going to be my kid. Our area basically handles everything that honestly you don't care about. It's, we're the back shop. Accounting and finance, human resources, purchasing, IT, food services, building and grounds maintenance, and security. If any of those topics interest you, by all means, give me a call. Email me. We can chat about any of that. Forward facing, maybe the one of the few people you'll probably talk to on any kind of a regular basis would be Judy, our accounts receivable person. Our payment system takes a little bit of getting used to. So if you have any questions, Judy is at area code 847-615-3228. She can walk you through how to get things paid, how to get your account set up. Yeah, she can take care of all that. I will offer you the gift of brevity, because that's about all I've got for you right now. And I have the honor of introducing our brand spanking new Dean of Students, Jennifer Rundles.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the call. I am the last person that stands between you and your questions, but I do want to introduce myself. I am brand spanking new, like Mike mentioned. This is my 10th week. So I have really enjoyed my time getting to know this group of people as well as the students. It was amazing when they arrived to campus. The energy completely changed, and they make this place what it is. We wouldn't be what we are without them. As the Dean of Students in the Dean of Students office, we manage all things that I see as a connector. So we're an office that a lot of things connect to. We are doing what we can to support our students in their growth, whether it's through leadership and having them find ways to look for the fun and the experience of school with house cup activities. We also have the residential life program that falls under us, and our learning resource specialists actually in our department. So they're there to support the students in their learning. So our goal is to support students in their growth and their time while they're here. Just a little bit about me, so you'll know a little bit about me. I am a 20-year veteran of boarding schools. This is my 20th year. This is my third boarding school. Previously, I was at Darlington School in Rome, Georgia for 4 years. And then before that, I was at St. Mary's School in Raleigh, North Carolina for 15 years. So I have had some time working with a variety of students from all over the world in boarding school environments. And I'm glad that I'm able to do more great work with students here and get to know the LFA community. And I will pause there, and then we can pass it on and do our questions and answers. So I'll turn this back over to Leigh Ann.
Hey parents, this is your time. You've heard from all of our Dean's Council members. If you have any questions at all, please go to the bottom toolbar on your Zoom screen where you see Q&A, and you'll be able to ask your question, and all the panelists will see the questions, so the right person will be able to respond. Okay.
While we're waiting for questions to fill the box, I'll open it up to my colleagues with a question that just says, if you could have any superpower that you want, what superpower might that be? I figured that would get a first question, so there it is. That's perfect. There we go. Good. So Andrew, you want to answer that one?
So the college night next week is open to all students and all parents. And we've also invited 8 to 10 area schools. We feel as though it's a community service, and it will be, like I said, it will be busy. We have 80 or so schools signed up right now, and they'll have tables sprinkled throughout kind of 2 or 3 different buildings on campus. And we have a test vendor that we work with, and they're presenting as well on the services that they provide, one-to-one testing options, and it's a vendor that we feel pretty good about, recommending based on the work that they've done with our students in the last few months.
Thanks, Andrew. Nancy, I wonder if you might be able to answer the question for everybody. I can actually see you're typing, so I apologize for interrupting that. But do you want to just give an overview of the 4-year course planning? Because I think that's a really important aspect of what we do.
I'm happy to. So in the spring, we will meet with all of our students, and we will engage in what we call 4-year planning. And this is an opportunity for our students to meet with advisors to plan out their courses for the next year. And this is a very labor-intensive process where before this all begins, we ask our teachers to make recommendations based on student performance and their interests about what courses they would really thrive in. And then we work with our students to try to understand what it is they're passionate about, and then walk them through that process. We have lots of materials that we will share with our students and with you as parents so that you can help to have those conversations at home with your children. We have everything from a planning sheet that allows them to think not just about their courses, but about our athletic requirements, so that they can really get a sense of how they should be planning their classes over the 4 years that they're here at LFA. So there are our minimum graduation requirements, and then everything else that they can kind of take beyond that. We have a course offerings guide that walks you through every single class that will be offered in the coming school year, whether it has a prerequisite or not, how many credits you can earn for it. And so we really try to give the students a comprehensive overview of that process. And then that will then be sent to our college counseling department, and we'll come back if there are any questions about recommendations and placements. And I think one of the things that we do really well here at LFA is that we really get to know our students very, very well. And so we really work hard to make sure that they're taking the classes that they are going to, again, thrive in and that they're also really passionate about. If you have further questions about four-year planning, feel free to reach out to me at nancy.nussr@lfanet.org. And I'm happy to answer any of those questions for you.
Thank you, Nancy. That was perfect. And it sounds like a lot because it is a lot, but it's amazingly individualized. And so you will hear more about that, but that was an awesome summary. Rob, would you like to answer the question about the parent events and how you would recommend prioritizing? I might just add, as parents on this call and in others, you're going to have a plethora of opportunities to be able to kind of involve yourself. And so I'm going to let Rob speak with more detail to that, but there will be no shortage of events for you to kind of be on campus and get to know us and get to know one another.
Exactly, Chris. And what I would just suggest is this. Number one, we do have a lot of events, but a lot of them, frankly, are being taped in a way that you can watch them via video at a later date. So there's always an opportunity to kind of catch up. Second of all, a great resource is Leigh Ann Jacobson, who is moderating tonight. And if you want to reach out to her and say, gee, I really can only make one thing this week because of my schedule, what would you recommend? So Leigh Ann's a great resource. As I started in my kind of presentation a little earlier, I really think our family weekend is an excellent opportunity to really dive into the academy. You will meet other LFA families that maybe you hadn't met. There's great opportunities for you to meet the faculty, great opportunities to reach out to administrators as well. There will be a Q&A session with Head of School Chris Tennyson and Jennifer Rundles, Dean of Students, very specifically for 9th, 10th, and transfer students who are newest LFA families. So lots and lots of great opportunities during family weekend to really plug in, get your questions answered. And when you think about it, we're talking mid-October. That's the time where you're settled in and you're probably saying, gee, I have some questions about this, that, and the other. It's a great opportunity to do it live and in person. So that's my big plug again on family weekend. It's fantastic.
I can jump in with two thoughts. I'd mentioned college night. I feel like that's a great, we want students to lead the way. Parents can hang in the background and kind of watch their students interact with adults, but college night's a great night that we would recommend parents attending. And the other event, that's college counseling related, is we have a junior college workshop that's always the last Sunday in January, and that's for juniors and their parents. And we invite 12 college representatives from around the country in to talk to our students and parents about how decisions are made in the college process. And they take those groups who are separated through a case study program. And I feel as though if you've never had a child that has gone through the process, or even if you have, a lot of the the misinformation will be kind of reconciled, and you'll get a much better understanding of how decisions are made and how decisions are made at different institutions. And the other question that I saw that was for me was in regards to liberal arts versus a specialized program. Good question. A little bit, probably a couple things need to be sorted out. Even at large public and medium-sized private universities, they're going to have a liberal arts kind of wing. They're going to have a liberal arts program that's offered at that institution. So you can pursue liberal arts anywhere, and in fact, most colleges would recommend that they really want students to explore. We quoted a recent, I don't know if it's recent within the last couple of years, but in the US right now, it's over 60%, closer to 70% of students will switch their majors at least one time. So the idea of being a specialist isn't necessarily an accurate one. However, we're well versed on the different colleges and their programmatic strengths, and we can help lead students in directions if they are certain that they want a business program, they are certain that they want data science as a major, or engineering. Just call and ask, really. That's one of the other things that I wanted to mention, is that we'll meet parents where they're at. If you can't meet until after work, 5 to 8 p.m., or you can't meet during the week and it's only on weekends, then we'll make time and we'll meet with you. And the last thing that I wanted to say is that in terms of the pluses or minuses, what we're seeing is nationally that smaller liberal arts colleges are getting less applications. And I have some theories on that. I won't bore you with them, but medium-sized to larger places are getting a little bit more traction. Our international students do tend to look at medium-sized to larger places that are near city centers. I think one of the benefits of that is that they can get in and out with a little more efficiency and with a little bit more comfort. So happy to answer any other questions as well.
Thanks, Andrew. A question came in regarding kind of grades, assignments, where those things are posted. And I think there was a pre-webinar question just about progress reports. Nancy, would you be willing to answer those?
Yeah, happy to. So for parents, you can access all of your students' courses through Veracross. All of our classes are linked there. And from there, you'll land on a Canvas page, which should take you to what we call cycle sheets. And those are produced every cycle by our teachers and every class that we teach, which outline, homework and classwork typically, and the letter days and the drop days typically that students will have for different classes. If for some reason you're not seeing that, please feel free to reach out to one of our 8 department chairs. And if you need to, feel free to reach out to me. You can always reach out to me with questions. So that's where you can find assignments for our students. In terms of reporting on grades, we do that 4 times a semester. So on September 19th, we are going to have our first set of progress reports. And so we will meet with our students in advisory. So for myself as an advisor, I'll meet with my students and go over how they're doing in their classes. On October 19th, you as parents will receive what we call our interim grades. You can think of those as midterms. That's kind of the way that we grew up. They were called midterms. Interim grades, those will come to you where you can see how your child is doing in a given class and comments from the teacher about why they are performing at that level. And then again, November 14th, we'll meet with our students for the next round of progress reports. Again, in advisory, we'll talk to our students about how they're doing and communicate there. And then December 19th will be the semester grades, which will be sent home again to you as parents with comments published. So we report out a lot in terms of our grades, and our students are pretty well aware of how they're doing throughout, but you can certainly always reach out to teachers, department chairs, and myself if you have any questions or concerns.
Chris, can I make an add-on to that?
Sure.
One thing that is worth noting, and this may be a shift for some people, is that we really view the advisor as the primary liaison between the students and the parents. And so if you have concerns about classes, if you want to know about something that's going on, really the advisor is the person to reach out to. We see our advisees 4 days a week. We spend a lot of time with them. We get to know them well, and the feedback we get from teachers comes that direction as well. So if you have concerns, that's really the first person to reach out to, and then they can kind of direct the question as needed. But that's important to know.
Great. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Nancy. Other questions? There looks to be one right there about AP classes. Are they self-paced or instructor-led? How many AP classes do LFA students take? That I don't know if someone would like, one of my colleagues would like to answer that.
I can answer the I can answer it. The classes primarily, and what we would advise is that they're instructor-led. I feel as though sometimes or often when a student tries to self-pace an AP class, that it gets in the way of doing all that they can do as well as they can in their classes that are going to, their achievement that's going to be reflected on their transcript. And the transcript is the most important piece of paper that you're going to submit with your college application, unless you're applying for a talent-based program. So I would recommend pursuing teacher-led AP instruction. In regards to the number, it's going to depend on the student. I think on average, about 5. I would say would be a solid average, depending on a couple of variables. Number one is the math foundation that a student comes in with. Students that are that have a really strong math foundation are going to hit AP calculus earlier, which is then going to give them an opportunity to take more AP coursework. And the other variable would probably be AP modern and classical language. It's just if a student is already close to being proficient in that language, they'll get to the AP language a little sooner as well. And so that will have them taking probably more AP courses. But the first time that many of our students will kind of have to make a decision on AP coursework is AP World History during their sophomore year. And that's a decision that they have to make. But English 9 and English 10 are standard courses, and then students will have an option to take AP courses in English after that. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. But the rigor in a program shouldn't come at the expense of emotional health and wellness and sleep, which is essential for students, and a love of learning, which we want to nurture in them, because when they go to college, they're not going to be tested on how they walk on a high wire, although maybe metaphorically, but they'll be tested on how well they read, write, and learn. And we want them to love learning still. So we don't want the high school experience to be something that takes away from that love of learning.
If I could just add on the APs. So with the APs, we offer over 24 AP classes here at LFA. And so there will be ample opportunity for your children to take APs when they are ready to take them. So my advice is always, it is better to take a class that is, all of our classes we consider advanced. So I want to start from there. We're a college prep environment. So starting from freshman year, that's why we don't differentiate from the very beginning. So all of our kids are taking what we consider a college prep academic program. And so the APs in our post-AP program is enrichment and kind of an extension of that work that we do with our students. And so there are plenty of opportunities, and we have APs across almost every single department. And we have 8 departments here at the school. So I just want to say that regardless of what background you come in with, APs are absolutely an opportunity for all of our students. And it is better to take maybe a less advanced class and do well and get an A than it is to take an AP and struggle and get a C. So if you have questions about the AP program, I head up that program along with Andrew Poska, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have in terms of that. And by the way, it's growing, and we'll be adding classes to kind of our repertoire as a school. So that's also really exciting. So do not fret. Your children will have ample opportunities to take those classes.
Thanks, Nancy. Thanks, Andrew. It looks like the Q&A box is empty and we're approaching that hour, which is, I believe, what we were scheduled to do. And so I will offer just some brief remarks here as we close. One, thank you for being on this call and for viewing it. If you're watching it through the link in the Parent e-News. Again, I want to reiterate that, we've talked a lot about your child's experience here at LFA and wanting them to engage and participate, but that is extended to all of you as well. We want you to enjoy your LFA journey just as much as your child does. And you can talk to any parent of an alum here, either one of the folks on this call or any LFA alumni parent that you know, and they will talk about how hard it was when they knew their time at the academy came to an end. And that speaks a lot about the community that we aim to build and how we try to kind of bring everybody together. And so please, over the course of these coming weeks and months, take time to try to get to campus for any of the events that you heard highlighted. Please engage with your child's advisor, as we heard on this call. Engage with any of my colleagues on this call as well. They're here to answer those emails and answer that call and point you in the direction. And I promise you that the more that you engage as well, the more that you will get out of this and be just as happy with the CAXI experience as well. And so thank you again, and a good morning, a good afternoon, or a good night wherever you are. And wishing you all the best and good health, and hoping to see you all around campus in the coming weeks. Take good care.